Thank you all so much for joining today and hanging out with me again today. We're going to be talking all about flowers. So it's one of my favorite topics. So I'm really excited to hang out with you guys and talk flowers. It's going to be super fun. And I see we already have some people in the chat. Hi, everybody. I see we have from everywhere so far. Looks like we have a lot of you all. Hi, welcome. I am here in Zone 7 in Oklahoma City with Smart Pots. Hey, Smart Pots. They are not too far away from us here in Oklahoma City, and it's been absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's been super windy, but besides that, which I hear is windy in Ohio too, where Donna is. I definitely feel that. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful here. The temperatures have finally started to warm up, which I am so excited to get out and start planting more, which is so exciting. I hope you guys are able to do planting. At least if you're not able to go outside and do planting, hopefully you have like a seed starting area or something indoors where you can maybe start some of your flowers that we're going to talk about today. It's going to be great. Um, but a lot of these flowers that we're going to talk about today, I am either growing up here or outside or going to be planting here very soon. And it always gets me really excited to talk with you guys and hang out with y'all. So welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining. Um, just a little bit about who I am. If you all are just joining us for the first time, welcome. Thank you. My name is Carrie. My husband Dale and I are the creators of the Seed to Spoon app. Um, we started gardening ourselves back in 2015, and it was, yeah, nothing. We had a backyard this is a traditional, like, Oklahoma backyard. Not super large. It had just Bermuda grass, and then over the course of a couple years, we turned it into this. So we had so many raised beds and gardens and grew a whole bunch of food, and we've been absolutely loving it. Um, we have moved since then because here, I'll show you guys a picture of where we are currently. So this is our property that we're on now. We're still in Oklahoma City, but we just moved on to some more land because honestly, in that backyard, we were running out of space. We're like, we want to grow everything, which I know some of you all have that problem too. But I'd say our garden's probably very close to how large it was when we lived in the city too. We just grow a lot more too because we grow like all on our porch and all of that in our sunroom. Like we're very strategic about where we grow, and try to make the most out of the space that we do use. So that way we have plenty of space for the goats and all of the other creatures that we have running around. Um, yeah, but it's been great. I am by myself today, so I am going to be doing managing the comments and talking to you all and answering questions and all that. So please forgive me if I miss any questions. But if you all miss any question, or if I miss any questions, just pop them in the chat. But as we go through, we're just gonna be chatting all together. I see this. Carol says, "Wow, that's a lot of seedlings in the back." Yes, we have. We. There was one night I think that Dale and I stayed up late. We're like, let's go start a whole bunch of seeds. It was very recent, and we have a whole bunch of plants going, a whole bunch of flowers, a whole bunch of everything. It's been pretty great. Um, Oh, yeah, I feel this on a half an acre, and I think I can grow everything. Yes, I know. I feel you. That's kind of how we're like we can grow everything and anything and everything. It's so exciting. We take on sometimes a little too much, but it's going good back here. And but the fun thing is that I I just really like to grow a variety of different types of things, and that's how I am with flowers and things like that. Um, Oh, I do see a question here from Sadie. She says, never started flowers indoors before. Are there some that are easier than others? Absolutely, for sure, definitely. And I'm going to be talking about the most common ones, at least that I'm going to be starting this month. Um, and typically, the ones that I'm going to talk about are more geared towards beginner ones and ones you don't have to do a whole bunch to, because that's, I mean, I'm all for easy and maximum like beauty and all that for as little work as possible, right? I mean, that's what we all want, I feel like. Um, but yes, for sure, and I'll be talking about that too as we go through, and I'll call out like how easy or hard each flowers are, or if there's anything in particular that you have a question about, just let me know. And then I see a great question here. What's the best time to start planting flowers outside? Typically, it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be different for everything. But typically, it is going to be after your last frost for some of the most common flowers that you've heard of. But there are a lot of flowers that you can start outside, even if you do have frost days coming up. There are some that will want it to actually be really cold out. So, um, I will call out to like whenever we can and plant things and all that too. But I will point out too, I am adding more and more flowers into the Seed to Spoon app too. Here, I have it pulled up right here. So I am adding more and more flowers in here as we go. I have alyssum in here, aster. I mean, I've been very, very busy doing a whole bunch of different flowers in here. And like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of them now. But if there's anything in particular that you would like me to add in here, pop it in the chat. Let me know because I'm constantly adding new plants and that includes flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruits, all of them. So just let me know what you would like to see in the app, and that'll make it easier too for you. Then you don't have to calculate out planting dates or anything like that. You can just look in the app and it will tell you exactly when you can plant. Okay. Oh, before I go through and we start talking about this, I do want to mention that we have a giveaway for you all that are joining us live today, as well as those if you are watching this after the fact, you guys have a giveaway too. But if you guys are here now, you all you need to do is just comment into the live chat to be entered in to win a free 1 year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription, as well as Park Seed flower seeds. So very exciting for you. So pop your name or just pop a comment, a question, and anything that you would like into the chat, and you'll be entered in to win at the very end. And we do this every single week, and we host a giveaway after the fact as well too. So for last week's winner, because I do this every single week. So last week we did have a winner. I need to announce that real quick before we go on and do this. Last week's winner was KMD. Yeah, I'm bad at names, but this was her handle. Um, please email us at info@seedtospoon.net and we'll get you hooked up with your free premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. And I did want to call it too because I was reading this question as I popped it up here. So she was asking, or he was asking, if there was a way to multi-select plants that are in the same bed to log an event, for example, fertilizing some but not all, and then if there's a way to record an event for an entire garden bed. So if there is rainfall or anything like that, yes. So let me pull up, go back to this view right here, and I'll go back to the main screen. Okay. So for me, so if I was wanting to log, because this is one of my biodomes actually that I have back here that is started with a bunch of different varieties of peppers. So if I come in here and I go to list view, it'll list out every single one of my peppers that I have growing in there, which is exciting. I can't wait. But if you see this three dots right here, if you tap that, and you go down to log event for multiple plants. I can just come in and say watered or fertilized, whichever I wanted to do. And I can either select all that are in this bed or seed starting tray, or I can just go through and select whichever ones I want to do. So I'm going to go through because I actually did do this. I did it yesterday. So there we go. And then save. So now, whenever I come in here, if I tap in on any of these, it's going to show watered on the 14th. There we go. Okay. And if you guys do have any questions at all about the app while I'm going through too, I made sure that I had it ready to go right there. So if y'all had any questions, we could go through that. Or if you guys have questions that I don't know the answers to, I have Growbot right there at my fingertips. So we can pull up Growbot if we need to, if there's something that I don't know too. Okay, so let's hop right in. Looks like, yep, Penny, she's so excited to see the list of April flowers. Yes, me too, because this is getting me inspired to go through and start. Because I have a lot of these are planted back here, but I'm going to be direct seeding a lot of these this year too. So first on the list, had to do one of my favorites, of course, zinnias. So I know somebody was asking about how easy things were to grow. Zinnias are hands down one of the very easiest to grow. Um, it does so. So Carol says she has trouble getting her zinnias to grow when she direct seeds them. Is it easy to start them inside? Yes, it is for sure. I actually have several zinnias. So typically my method with zinnias, I do I do but several different varieties. So I love the smaller. There is a Magellan or Magellan mix. I don't know how to say it. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. If we have a picture of it. Um, yeah, I'm not seeing it. Okay. Well, y'all have to trust me on the name on that. But that is one that I will start inside because it's a little bit shorter. It's more like a foot or two tall. And I tend to put the shorter zinnias in containers and kind of just sporadically place them around the patio and all of that. But those ones I typically will start inside. And then my bigger ones, so like the Parks Picks zinnias, which are phenomenal. If you all haven't tried them out yet, I would definitely recommend them because they are fantastic. And I grow these every year now because it's that great. But they are super tall. I mean, I'm like 5'10", and we had them in a raised bed, which I mean, it's only about this tall anyways. But it was like they were like towering over me. I'm like, this is incredible. It was so great. But these are perfect for like cutting flowers because they had a very sturdy stem. So if you go through and cut them, which I know it sounded horrible to me because I don't know, I just felt really bad doing it. But I was like, it's actually helping them because the more you cut, the more will grow, which is amazing. So you can cut your zinnias, take them inside, and have bouquets ever all forever. Um, but yeah, for sure, they are definitely one of my very favorite ones. There's so many different varieties that are out there to grow, and I mean, the Parks Picks ones are amazing if you want to do some really tall, great ones, or those Magellan ones are phenomenal as well. Oh, you know what? I can actually pull up the app over here, and I always forget that I have it over here. So pull up zinnias real quick here. Okay, let's go to varieties. Oh, these Cinderella zinnias are one of my favorites as well. I can't believe I almost didn't call those out because they are, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. They have like this like extra, like I have so many pictures, like you can kind of see they have like this extra inside that just like explodes. It's yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely beautiful. Let me see. Yes, so these right here. Now, I feel like these pictures don't do it justice, but these ones right here are one of my newest favorites because they are just huge blooms for actually tiny, compact plants. I won't say tiny because they are, I mean, they are at least like a foot or two tall. But for a smaller zinnia plant, and the blooms were huge. They were like the size of my palms. Absolutely love them. They're incredible. And it seems like a lot of, oh, yes, so the profusion series are good short ones too. Absolutely. I love those ones too. We grow so many, like I said, I kid you not when I say we had like I don't even know how many varieties last year we did of zinnias. We probably did like 25. That's probably yeah, it was probably about that. Yes, Cheryl, I feel you 100%. Um Okay, I feel like here was a question right here. What is the closest you would plant your zinnias out in the garden? So if you're talking more about like how close to plant zinnias, I will say I don't really follow spacing methods with zinnias much at all. With them, I'm generally more going through, if I'm direct seeding them outdoors, I'm literally just going through and just sprinkling seeds. I really don't do like square foot methods or anything like that for zinnias. Um, I more am a sprinkle girl. Try to make it as easy as possible. But if I'm out there transplanting, I mean, obviously I'm going to give them a little bit more space. But I mean, really, again, I tend to overplant with a lot of flowers, Um, especially when direct seeding because you want to make sure like it's going to start enough. I mean, you want to make sure the seeds are going to be germinating good and for where they're going to be going. But I will literally go through and sprinkle them out. Okay. Let me make sure. If I did not get to your question, I'm starring some that like have questions about the app or things like that that I'm going to come back to, so that way I have a way to come through. So if I did not answer your question that wasn't related to zinnias, um, I'm I'm working on it. Here, we can talk about this really quick because we did talk a little bit about starting these indoors. So for hardening off so what she means by this is whenever you start plants indoors like how I have right here, they're used to being babied. They don't have like a lot of sun, obviously they just have grow lights and not a lot of wind, rain, hail, even, I mean all of that. So before you go through and place your seedlings outdoors, you want to make sure you go through a period that's called hardening off. So whenever you do this, it's usually over a course of about one one week at least, depending on how the weather is out there. But about a week or so, and I will take them outside, and I always take them. So I've learned this the hard way. I always take them behind my gate in the garden and find a shaded place in there for them about the first couple days because you want to gradually expose them to the elements. But you don't want them to where pests might get them, or in my case, chickens. You know, you don't want them getting into them. So I always put mine behind my fence in my garden and gradually each day increase the time and the exposure to sunlight and all of that to where the very last day they're going right there where they're going to be living and they're ready to go. So it just gradually just gets them there. Um, Great question by Sharon here. What size grow pot should I use for zinnias? So again, this is really going to depend on what variety of zinnia that you do because there's so many different sizes of zinnias. For my smaller ones that I'm growing, I'm probably going to be doing them in smaller ones. So maybe more like a 5 gallon. I'm going to have like two or three in there probably. But if I were doing a larger one, I would do more of them or a taller variety. Now, I will say the bigger the pot that you have, the better that the plant's going to do because there's more room for air. So you don't have to water quite as much or fertilize quite as much and all of that. So I would definitely recommend if you can size up, to size up because your plants just will always thrive that way. But I mean, you can grow, especially the smaller ones, in pretty small containers. Oh, and it looks like so. Smart Pot says we grow zinnias in 10-gallon Smart Pots. Yes, 10-gallon Smart Pots would be absolutely perfect. So yes, Pamela, I feel you. Zinnias are absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite flowers, and they are so easy to grow too that they are just, we literally just go out and start sprinkling seeds. And we actually just did that. So we are in zone 7, and we actually went out there this week and started our first round of sprinkling some zinnias. So it's so exciting, everybody. I need to go check and see if any have popped up because we did that over, I think we did that on like Sunday. So I doubt any have popped up yet, but I'm so excited. Oh, Cheryl, yes. I 100% I 100% agree with you. Oh, and Smart Pot says we have done pink straps. Yes, I actually have. Oh, I don't think I have any planted out in here, but I have one in my inside area that I'm growing a tomato in. It's a 1 gallon with pink handles on it. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Okay, great follow-up question for the for hardening off whenever we're talking about that. So Nicole was asking about starting times. So like for 1 hour. So again, in the very beginning, uh, yes, an hour may be perfectly enough for them. But gradually you'll want to work your way up each day, just increase your time frame and increase the amount of time until you have them like literally all day out there. Okay. And if I missed your question, I'm sorry, but feel free to pop all your questions in there. I'm starring as many as I can also, so that way I can come back to it at the very end because we have a list of flowers to go through, and I'm so excited. And we've only got through one. I feel like I've been talking for a while at you guys, but it's been fun. I love talking about flowers. Okay. Petunias, another one of my very favorites. So I am addicted to growing petunias because petunias were honestly one of my first flowers. I mean, of course, because everybody sees petunias in the big box stores and they're so pretty, right? But that is what got me first into flowers. Before I even started doing vegetable gardening or anything like that, I had some hanging baskets of petunias, but I will say I was guilty of buying these until like last year. Last year was the first year that we were like, why don't we start seeds for these too? Because I literally just go through and like I I start everything else by seed. I'm like, why don't I start these flowers by seed? So I have been growing my petunias by seed too. It is such a money saver for me because I love having these hanging baskets and I have space up. I can actually see it right here. I'm like, oh, I'm excited to hang these baskets up. But we have basket hangers up here in our front entry for so many different pots. Like, so we can we can do a whole bunch of them. But if I were to go and buy petunias plants, I would be spending a fortune. Now, I do always shop the clearance rack, but still, it all adds up. Whereas you can get one packet of seeds and plant so many flowers, it's incredible. So I am starting loads of petunias and saving all sorts of money this year. I love it. But yes, petunias and also, I mean, besides saving money, you can get so many different varieties too. Because, I mean, I was really surprised by how many different varieties of petunias there actually were. And it's incredible. Like the different, like, style, like, there's so many different uniqueness out there. Like, I just really love. So it is definitely something that I recommend looking into because Park Seed actually has like I don't even know how many they have. I know they have like 100 different zinnias, but I think their petunia collection is pretty close. They have a lot of petunias also, and everyone is slightly unique, has a different style or slightly different colors and or size of the plants or size of the oh man, the blooms. It's amazing. So yes, I can't say enough about zinnias or about petunias, but I have a bunch of different flats going over here. You ask why we have like all of the seeds are, it really is like a lot of petunias that I have growing right now too, because it's just something that I love to grow. They're really easy to take care of and they do really well. So it's definitely one that is always on my list and I absolutely love it. Oh, yes. So Donna called out too. The seeds are very small. Yeah, so I was surprised whenever they came in the seed packet from Park Seed. They come in almost like this little like pill canister that you open up and they're so tiny. Yes, 100%. They're very difficult to go through, but I mean, if you just put them in the palm of your hand and either use a like some tweezers or if you can sprinkle in that. But I will say that it still worked out amazing. I'm loving it. Patricia's saying she's having a hard time finding a petunia with a good scent. You know what? I think there's actually there I believe that well here, let me pull up. Because I do think that there is a variety of petunias that's called scent station. I might be thinking of a yeah, Petunias sensation. I was gonna say I remember starting these. Yes, I started these sensation. They're supposed to be like smell good ones. Now I can't vouch for it yet because I obviously I planted them back in February, so we'll see how that goes. But that's one that maybe you look into because it's supposed to be one that has like a really good scent. So maybe give those a try. Oh, yes, Cheryl. So this is actually our plan that we want to do with our petunias also is to make an entire green stock, one of the vertical gardens, just completely filled with petunias. It will be beautiful. And I want to see pictures of yours. You definitely need to post it on social and tag me because I want to see it. I bet it was absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait. Yeah, I that's one thing that I'm really excited about. I have this pink tower that Dale actually got me, and I am so excited to plant some pink petunias in it too. It's gonna be great. This is a good question. Do you recommend using those little seed sowing tools for tiny seeds or just tweezers? I mean, honestly, I just go through and use tweezers myself or my hands. I mean, I haven't really found any sort of amazing tool that works that's worth the money. You know what I mean? So I always find like tweezers work just fine, and I have millions of tweezers around the house. So that's what I always do. Um, okay, great question here. What kind of lighting do you recommend for germination and starter growth? So, up here, what I have is really great for everything. I mean, I have, if you can kind of see here, let me go full screen so you can see a little bit better. You can kind of see these. These are just LED shop lights that I have. They're hooked up to these little hangers right here, these adjustable hangers. So that way I can adjust them. You can kind of see, oh, oh my gosh, it's so hard to, right here. I kind of have it angled a little bit because these right here were getting a little leggy. And these ones over here, like I still had the tray top, like the dome on this one. So I couldn't do it down quite that much. But I was able to lower it down just right here because I didn't want those to get too leggy. Um, but these LED shop lights works amazing for germinating seeds as long as you're not growing them to flower or to fruit or anything like that. This works perfect for you. Now I do have an actual grow light right here, and also above me right here, I have a grow light too. So that way I can grow things right here. We actually tried to grow peppers year round, and it lasted for us for a while in the winter, until it got like just too cold in here because we're in the garage. But it actually worked for a while. But we actually found this thing. This thing works really well, and it helps us germinate a whole lot extra seeds and just take care of a lot of extra plants right here. So definitely, definitely works great. Okay. Yes, I feel you. I'm very excited to have some pink petunias. I have a bunch of different varieties of the pink petunias, and I'm excited to try them. Okay. Oh, Cheryl says she has a new raspberry green. So I saw that one, and I was so tempted, but I was like, I already have the pink one. I'm good. I don't need another one. I had to talk myself down. But oh, I love it. That's exciting. Oh, you're doing garbanzo beans too. I actually have garbanzo beans going in my garden right now for the first time ever. I'm growing garbanzo beans, and I'm so excited. And I mean, you should have seen my son when I took him out there and I showed him. I was like, "Look, because it's like about like this big." And I was like, "Look what I'm growing." He's like, "Okay, what is it?" And I was like, "These are garbanzo beans. Do you know what they're going to turn into?" He's like, "No." I was like, "This is going to be hummus." And he was like, he freaked out. He was so excited. But yeah, that's a good idea to put them into the green stock. I really like that. I might try that too. Maybe this fall I'll have to try that. Okay, great question. I'm glad that you brought this up. Yeah, because I'm sure we have people coming and going too. So I am here in Zone 7 in Oklahoma City. So we get, I know the zones are, I mean, Zone 7 can be so different anywhere you live. Um, but I am, so my typical winter weather, we do usually get a little bit of snow, but not very often. Generally, I think we got like two snowstorms, where we got like actual like snow. We usually get at least one ice storm throughout the winter, but we did. I mean, it does get cold here. But I think we had our last frost last weekend. Was it last weekend? People in Oklahoma, I don't know. It was very recent. We had a frost, and I think we're done with it. Hopefully, but yeah, so generally our winter's pretty mild, but it does get really cold, just not really snowy, unfortunately, because I'm always like, if it's going to be cold, I wish it would be snowy. But I love this. Yes, I will for sure be posting. I posted about him the other day. I was like, I'm going to annoy everybody on Instagram, I know, because I'm very excited about these garbanzo beans. So, but I definitely will be keeping you all updated, though, for sure. So I'm gonna have to call for somebody else because so Patricia, I'm growing my garbanzo beans um in one of my 4x8 raised beds. So and this is my first time to grow them. So I know it sounded like, was it Cheryl, I think, that said that she was growing them? And yeah, Cheryl was going to be growing them. Maybe she's grown them before in a green stock or in the containers. But if anybody has grown garbanzo in a container, I'd love to hear about it. But I'm definitely going to be definitely going to be doing that. Oh no, is my service not great? I'm sorry. I probably should do these inside if the I thought, because I was like, because the office is like right through the door over there. I figured it would be okay, but I'm sorry if I'm cutting in and out. Hopefully it's not too bad. Oh, cool. I'm glad you guys are all trying it. Nice. Very cool. You guys have to let me know. Keep me updated. Seriously, post them on social, tag me because I want to see your guys's how your guys's are all doing too. Okay. Okay. So sorry, we get sidetracked often, I feel like, but it's fun. Anyways, cosmos are next. So I love growing cosmos. Again, these are ones that are definitely easy to grow. These are, I mean, honestly considered like wildflowers here. Like they're literally just so simple to grow. I go out, I sprinkle them into the soil again, and they've done amazing for me. This is my first year. I'm actually trying growing them indoors, so I'll have to let you know how it goes. Typically, I just direct seed cosmos, and I've never had an issue getting them to germinate or anything like that. Very, very easy and simple to grow. Um, Now, I will let you know inside. They are the ones that were right here that I was talking about. We're just getting a little bit leggy, so I do know that they do tend to grow that way. Just that's just how they look. So I'm hoping that's all it is. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll let you all know how starting these indoors goes. But I wanted to get a head start on some of them, and I was like, I'm just gonna try it and see how it goes. So I like to experiment and try new things, but I'm also going to be starting a lot of these outdoors. Literally, again, tossing, just tossing seeds, super easy. Ooh, okay, short cosmos. I actually don't know quite as much about Cosmo different varieties. Okay, let's see if we can pop in here really quick. Because I know which ones I'm growing, but I'm like, I don't know the exact height of each of them. I'm sure there's probably something in here that says that they are maybe a dwarf or something. I know definitely not the ones that say giant. Yeah, I'd have to click into each one of these. I'm sorry. I don't know right away off the top of my head which ones are going to be the best smallest ones, but maybe some of you guys know of some good varieties of cosmos that are shorter. Because yeah, my yeah, yes, my cosmos said 3 to 6 feet. They do get quite large. I grow cosmos right there, right with my zinnias, and they keep up with them generally. Not the Parks Picks zinnias, because those ones get huge, but the other ones, like the mid-size zinnias, they are typically are right about the same. Oh, thank you. So Grobot says Sonata and Cosmic. So those are okay. I don't think those are varieties that I've started indoors at least. So um okay, says they grow 1 to 2 feet. Thank you. You see, Grobot is always so helpful. Yes, I 100%. And that's why I started mine indoors too, because I was like, I know, because whenever I started them, I was like, I know we're going to have another frost coming. So I wanted to make sure that I got much time in as I could. Okay, and sunflowers. So this is another one, super easy, especially for beginners. But this one, if you have not had your last frost yet, do not start them outdoors at all. You definitely want to make sure that you are waiting to start these until after your last frost. And again, with sunflowers, I go out and throw sunflower seeds. They're very easy to grow. Um, yeah, very, very simple. Some people will say like just nicking the seed. Like if I'm starting them indoors, I'll do a little bit more care, like nicking the side, to try to make sure, just because it's a tough coating. But these ones, like I generally don't start sunflowers indoors unless you have um a very short growing season and you want to make sure that you get sunflowers often, or you have a specific variety you really want to grow, because there are a lot of really fun varieties. But sunflowers, I tend to grow them just like a wildflower, and I toss them everywhere. And I do them actually outside of the garden sometimes too. And they are a favorite of our goats. So if our goats get out, they definitely, like at the end of the season, like I will let the goats out and I will let them go eat good. This is like their dessert. It's their favorite thing in the world. Um, but yes, so yes, the bees love sunflowers. Absolutely. If you plant nothing else for the bees, like sunflowers are hands down just an attractor. It works so well. Um, I highly recommend growing them. It'll bring all sorts of beauty. I mean, you can grow all sorts of like dwarf varieties to huge giant varieties. There's so many unique things about sunflowers. So Karma says her sunflowers never germinate unless she cracks the seeds open. Yeah, so like I said, if I was growing them indoors, I definitely would be like somewhat just like nicking the side, making it a little bit easier for it. But outside, I've really had zero issues. Maybe because I'm walking on, or like maybe the birds help me, or so, I don't know. You never know. Nature at its finest, right? But literally, I just go out, toss seeds, works really great. Oh yeah, awesome. Amazing sunflowers last year. Five different kinds, super tall to shorter. That's so pretty. Oh, I bet that was gorgeous too. You just have a lot of beautiful things, I bet. Okay. Oh no, Julie, I'm sorry. Chipmunks, birds, and squirrels. Yes, I feel you. I actually have a so you guys know those bird cameras with the bird feeder that you have? So I do a lot I love birds. So I Dale got that for me for Christmas and I love watching my birds and stuff, but I found it funny that I've been getting squirrels up there too. So I definitely feel you too. And but I will say, since I've had like a steady, amazing supply of them, of seeds, they haven't gone into my garden yet. I better knock on wood as I say that. But it's been a lot better. So I'm like, maybe if I just have a dedicated area for them, I'm like, you guys can eat this, but leave that all to me. So hopefully I found a trick then to squirrels. I will save it and I will let you all know. But so far so good. It's yeah, it's just funny. I get these random videos of squirrels sometimes on my videos. Oh, great question. So Donna's saying, do you when you throw seeds, can you do it on a mulched bed? You can for sure. I so it depends on the mulch also and you want to make sure to like water it in really well. Generally, I'm mulching more after the fact, or I mean, and honestly, for like sunflowers, I'm not really mulching. I'm doing a lot more of I just toss it on the ground, really. But saying that, I have so my bedding here. If I pull up a picture really quick of our garden again. Okay, so you can kind of see here, I have wood chips down on the ground all around these smart pots and raised beds, and they still will find a way to grow. Like if I toss the seeds right here on the mulch, they literally would still grow. So I they don't have a problem, it seems. But they were growing like I had these giant sunflowers. I was letting them go because I love sunflowers, but I don't even know how they were getting in there. I just figure probably a bird feeder and a bird dropped it in at some point. But I was like, I'm just gonna let it go. But they were growing right there in my mulch walkways. So where there's a will, there's a way, right? Okay. I love this. Yeah, a little bird camera for Mother's Day. I'll let him know. Yeah, that was an amazing surprise for me for Christmas. I did not expect that. And I didn't even know that that was a thing really until I saw that. Okay. Wow, I've been talking a lot. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through some of these. So marigolds, I know you all have heard me talk a lot about marigolds. I'm a huge fan. Obviously, they do fantastic things for bringing in beneficials to your garden, as well as protecting your tomatoes and peppers and eggplant, like all of that. So marigolds are always something I grow a lot of. Like I really do. I have an entire flat. I think it's this one right here actually is an entire flat of just marigolds. I grow a lot of different varieties, but the Parks Whopper marigold is my favorite. It is like the plant itself isn't super large. I feel like it's a standard size marigold, but just the blooms are just huge. I mean, like they're like this big. Like oh man, they're incredible. But it is definitely amazing. I love those. So Park Swapper marigolds, you have to check them out. Um, and then I saw a question here about from Cheryl. What are you growing on your arches? So several different things, but flower wise, nasturtiums are definitely one of them. I have another one that I will be talking about here shortly too, but I generally use the arches more for like my beans and peas and tomatoes and cucumbers and loofah and all that. I mean, there's a lot of them, but there's zero. I mean, I do like nasturtiums and here I could pop forward. Also, I think it's number 10. Yep, number 10. Look at me. Morning glories. So this is a love it or hate it for morning glories. So this is one, once you plant it, you will always have it because it is something that it it can be considered invasive, but they're so beautiful. I love them. Dale, on the other hand, does not because they tend to go everywhere and they definitely spread. So keep them contained, just like you would mint. So treat morning glories just like mint if you would. But the amazing thing about morning glories is that they will like completely take over an arch. And I wish I had pictures I could show you from like archways I've had. Like they are just incredibly gorgeous and they will literally take over an entire arch and just bloom amazing. I absolutely love them. Um, yeah, so nasturtiums too. Like I know I mentioned arch. Some of them, I mean, they won't take over the entire arch, but they're definitely beautiful when they do. And also, they're one that will help with pests. Usually, they work more like a trap plant by bringing in pests, but taking them away from your other plants. So these are just something that's great to have in every garden too. I love the look of them too. And calendula is another amazing companion plant too. I love them. They will thrive. I feel like in every weather condition, which is amazing because I plant them out pretty early here and I was so surprised last year. They lasted our entire summer. They started looking a little on the wild side, like not so great towards the end of the season, but they recovered in the fall. They were doing amazing. So I was like, oh, calendula is one of my new favorites. I mean, plus it's edible. I mean, yeah, calendula is great. Okay, okay, we're getting close on time. So alyssum is one that again I love growing these because it's just something that's really small and delicate. It's beautiful. It's great for borders, and I mean, again, they're really good. Like in general, all weather plant. So this is one that I love to have for both for just like borders along like my outside of like I have garden beds on the front yard as well as like in hanging pots and things like that. I definitely love them and they're fairly easy to grow too. I have a lot of them that I've started indoors and I didn't do really anything extra with them and they just thrived. And snapdragons. So those of you who are still cold, like snapdragons will be your go-to because snapdragons will thrive in the cool temperatures and they get to be huge for you. So if you start these indoors too, you can get a head start on your growing season, plant them out there. I am a huge fan. Plus, they're just fun, right? Like this was one that uh, I mean, I feel like I've grown since I was a kid, really, but like we didn't even do much gardening, but we did have snapdragons. So, okay, I know we kind of whizzed through a lot of them. So, I do want to call out too if you guys have other questions, we have Growbot 2 in the app. So, on here on the main page, if you go down here, there's this little Growbot icon. And everybody, even if you don't have premium access, you can come in here and type up to 3 questions a day for free. If you do have premium, you can go through, you can ask unlimited questions as well as send photos to Growbot. So if you have like something that's wrong with one of your plants, or if you need help identifying a plant or a pest or something like that, you can actually just take a picture and send it to Growbot too, which is super helpful for me. I do this all of the time. Um, so I know that I had a lot of questions as we were going through. Um, so let's see. Give me a moment here because I do need to pull them back up. Okay, we'll go through a couple questions here real quick. So Paige was asking, what is the lowest temperature tomatoes and peppers can take? Um, well, for me, I would say I wouldn't put them underneath anything like 45. I mean, 50 really to be safe, but I wouldn't put them under 45. You just risk stunting them also, and it's never good for them to be around that temperature. So I'm usually very careful before I put out my tomatoes and peppers. I haven't even started my hardening off process with my tomatoes and peppers for me here in zone 7 at least. Which I'll start it. I'll start it soonish, but I'm not in any rush because I'm like I know that there's going to be like cold random snaps of, and I just want to be very careful. Okay. Oh, Cheryl, great question. Help me find some vining veggies for a new trail. So you know what I actually did the other day? I went through here on Growbot and I added a photo right there, and I said what would be good to add to this arch because I had a arch in a so I have a strawberry bed, and then I have a zinnia bed, and then I have an arch that connects them. And I was like, okay, so I just took a picture of it. I sent it to Growbot. I was like, okay, what are good things that I can plant right here? And it was awesome. So I do want to recommend that. Like Growbot can definitely give you some good suggestions for that. Um, but I know we kind of talked a little bit about some uh, oh my goodness, I lost it. There it is. I know we talked a little bit about um, vining veggies also, but like loofah is one of my very favorites. Beans are great, tomatoes, tomatillos, cucumbers. I mean, I've even grown like little mini watermelons up an arch trellis before, and it works great too. But I mean, there's a lot of different ones you can do. Okay. I want to make sure that I'm not losing y'all's questions here too. Okay. So Malia was asking, is there a way to add a custom variety instead of adding a custom plant? Okay. So whenever you're in here, if I'm in here and it was a hot pepper that I planted, I can just go in here. Instead of choosing from this variety list, I can either just type it in up here, test variety. Nobody let me forget what variety it actually was, but I won't hit save and close. But I can do whatever I want there. Or you can, before you go through and select it, you can just change it right here and type into that field. It'll let you do either one. So I mean, it's not really creating a custom variety, but you're still logging it in your garden bed. So hopefully that helps. That's what I do for whenever I'm starting any plants that aren't on there. Um, Oh, good question. So, will flowers in the front yard also help bring pollinators in for backyard? Um, hey, it never hurts to have more flowers, right? I'm sure everybody here will agree with that. But I for sure say, I mean, any flower in the front yard is definitely going to help because anything to bring them into the vicinity, they're going to find it. But the more flowers you can plant, the better it will be. Um, what size do you use when making your arches for peas or beans? So I'm using a cattle panel arch. Let me see if I can find. So these are my cattle panel arches right here. So I generally use this. So I think these are 16 feet cattle panels, and I just arch them over. They're about 6.5 to 7 feet tall because I want to make it so I can comfortably walk through, especially when things are growing down in it, and it works perfect. So this is what I do. I also have. Let me see if I can. Well, here's a picture of one filled. Um, I have a bunch of different types. I know it's hard to see in the very, very background. I have like a cattle panel on its side, but there's a lot of different ways that you can trellis and go through. Now, peas, I'm generally growing them along just one that's not super tall, just because peas don't get super tall. Now, beans, I'm usually using for the arches, just because the pole beans, like they will take over the entire thing, which is amazing. Okay. Okay, bear with me just a moment while I go through and I run it. See, this is the bad thing about being by myself is that I am having to do the winner at the very end myself. Okay, give me a moment. Y'all talk amongst yourselves, right? And please, like, if you do have any other questions, please let me know and pop them into the chat, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we can. Okay. So I just drew the name, ran it through. Yep. Drum roll, right? Thanks, Smartbots. Yep. Spin that wheel. Go for it. Okay, here we go. So the winner for today is going to be getting a free pack of flower seeds from Park Seed, along with a 1 year free premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. That is congratulations to Penny D. So email us at info@seedtospoon.net and we'll get you all set up with all your goodies. Yay! It's exciting. And like I said, any of you guys that are in the chat right now that want to win, please, like after this post, just go in and just and comment away and you can be entered in to win for the same giveaway. Thank you. Luckily, like I was prepared because I knew I was going to be by myself, so I did go through and like I had everything pulled up and ready to go in all these windows. I'm like, okay, I have this there, this there, this there. So, whew, I did it. Let's see. Had a question, another question from Carol. So fertilizer for kitchen mini tomato. Okay, so what I use is actually the Espoma tomato tome. I use that for all of my tomatoes, including the kitchen mini tomato that I grow indoors, as well as the tomatoes I grow out in my garden. So I absolutely love the Espoma fertilizer since it's all organic ingredients. It makes it so easy. I just pull out. I don't even really measure it honestly. I just kind of go through and sprinkle a little bit into the soil surface and just kind of insert it in and then water it in. That's about it. Super easy. Okay. Yay! Well, that's awesome. I'm sorry. I feel like we could have talked a lot more and a lot longer about flowers. But yeah, but it is what it is. We definitely got sidetracked a lot and talked a lot on our first flowers. I know that. But it was a lot of fun and thank you all so much for joining me and hanging out with me for an hour or so. And well, we talked all about flowers and all of that. Um, yeah, awesome. Um, I did, Donna. I did pull up a winner for last week's. I did it at the very beginning. I don't know if you missed it, but I don't remember who it was. Oh, I have because I always type over it. It was this person, KANNB. They were our winner from last week's. Awesome. Oh, ooh, this is a great question. I want to get lettuce to grow indoors. Is that possible? Have to do this really quick because I am on this goal as well. I have a I have several smart pots. I'm going to be trying to do that. I have some on my kitchen windowsill and I am going to attempt to do this as well. But I know a lot of you guys have done this with hydroponics and all of that, but I'm trying to do it as simple as possible. So I'm trying growing mine in some smart pots indoors, and I will let you go know how it goes. I definitely think it's possible, and I definitely think that you can do it. So you and I will do it together. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining, and we'll hang out again. I'll probably be going live again on Thursday, just hanging out, answering questions if you all have any, if you all want to join again. Um, on Thursday, but I definitely do this every single Tuesday and we talk a topic like this and I will be here same time, same place. So thank you all so much for joining. And in the meantime, tag us on the social. I know there were several pictures from you guys I want to see. So take pictures or take pictures from last year, tag them, send them to me. I want to see them. It sounds really fun. Um, I will see you all